why Samaya would tell me that you had had sex with her?
I have no idea. No.
You don't?
No.
That would be like the craziest fishing expedition.
This is 33-year-old Jonathan Quiles. On December 19, 2018, his 16-year-old niece, Iyana Sawyer, left Terry Parker High School at lunchtime and never came back. Surveillance cameras at Terry Parker High School captured her leaving campus carrying 2 bags. When Iyana didn't come home that evening, her family knew something was wrong. Her aunt called 911 to report her missing.
Jacksonville 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Did I come home from high school today? She go to Terry Parker High School. The phone is going straight to voicemail. It's not like her.
Okay.
You have no idea what she is.
At first, it looked like another missing teenager case. For the next 16 days, detectives combed through the Otis Road landfill in Jacksonville, searching through more than 5,000 tons of trash, looking for her. All they found was a Terry Parker High School library book and a pair of Victoria's Secret underwear. And that underwear would later become one of the key pieces of evidence against Jonathan. For years, nobody could prove what had happened to her. But what detectives didn't realize yet was that Iyana had been hiding a secret. A secret so devastating that prosecutors would later argue it gave Jonathan Quiles a reason to make sure she disappeared forever. What they were about to uncover would make this one of the most disturbing cases Jacksonville had ever seen.
Have you ever worn her underwear?
No.
Have you ever jacked off into her underwear?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It's December 19th, 2018, in Jacksonville, Florida. 16-year-old Iyana Sawyer walks out of Terry Parker High School during her lunch break and never returns. She's a straight-A student set to graduate a year early, and she's 5 months pregnant. That afternoon, Iyana is seen carrying 2 bags because she believes she's about to start a new life with the man she loves. Instead of heading home, she goes to Ace Pick-A-Part, a salvage yard on North Main Street, where her uncle, Jonathan Quiles, works. When Iyana doesn't come home that evening, her family reports her missing. It will be the beginning of a case that takes nearly 5 years to solve. The story began years earlier, inside a Jacksonville home, where Iyana and her relatives would sometimes stay for weeks at a time. That's where Jonathan Quiles, who was married to Iyana's aunt, Naomi Mobley, began grooming her. Over time, what began as a casual relationship between uncle and niece turned into something sexual. And to hide his identity from her family, Iyana gave him a different name. She called him Jose. When family members asked about the father of her unborn child, she told them Jose was the father. The truth was that Jose was her uncle. Iyana's own sister knew about the relationship for at least 2 years. She later told investigators that she never said anything because she didn't want to lose her sister's trust. When investigators searched Iyana's computer, they found a 4-page letter they believed Iyana had written to him. In the letter, Iyana wrote that she loved him. She talked about running away with him so they could be together as a family. At one point, she even expressed jealousy over his relationship with her sister.
Are you kidding? And you're looking at us like, I'm such a great guy. I don't even know why I'm sitting in here.
Fucked
and
up
I have to
situation,
tell
but
you.
excuse my
And
French,
your
but-
own niece, you're telling me your niece would never say those things unless someone made them.
Correct.
She was reliving sex with you. And she told me that she heard you on monthly times. She knew of you having sex with Iyana, and she would describe to me because she said Iyana was so jealous that she wanted her to know exactly what you did with your penis and what you did here and there and what she did to make you happy. She went into great detail about her making sure she knew it because she said my sister was just so jealous. So jealous.
At the same time, Iyana was carrying his child. Jonathan's wife, Iyana's own aunt, was pregnant too. If Iyana had that baby, everything Jonathan built would collapse. In October of 2018, Jonathan went online and bought herbal remedies that he hoped would cause a miscarriage. He gave them to Iyana, but they didn't work. He then began pressuring her to get an abortion. She refused. For months, he had been sending her Snapchat messages, sometimes loving, sometimes threatening. The closer she got to giving birth, the more pressure he put on her. According to testimony, Jonathan had been planning the murder for months. He believed he would lose everything if Iyana had that baby, and so he made a decision. On the morning of December 19, 2018, Jonathan Quiles clocked in at Ace Pick-a-Part at 8:08 a.m. Surveillance cameras later captured him driving into remote sections of the salvage yard, areas employees rarely had any reason to visit. At some point before she left school, Jonathan told Iyana to come to the salvage yard. He promised they would run away and start a new life together. She brought her bags. She left school at lunchtime, and she believed every word he told her. Jonathan led her to a vehicle parked in a secluded part of the property, far from other employees and out of view. Then he attacked her. He wrapped his hands around her neck and began to strangle her. But she wasn't dying fast enough, so he pulled out a gun and shot her instead. Then he began covering his tracks. He wrapped Iyana's body in a piece of carpet and placed it inside an on-site dumpster. Her backpack was discarded separately. Jonathan knew that dumpster would be emptied that day because it was already full. Months earlier, he had casually asked a driver where the dumpsters from the salvage yard were taken. The answer was the Otis Road landfill, and Jonathan understood exactly what that meant. His mother worked at a morgue. He knew how difficult it could be to recover human remains once they entered a landfill. Music. At 5:09 that evening, Jonathan clocked out and went home. Years later, while sitting in jail, he would describe what happened in his own words during a secretly recorded conversation. The next day, December 20th, Jonathan called his brother Joseph in New York 4 times and confessed everything. How Iyana came to the yard. How he sat her in a car at the back of the property where nobody goes. How he wrapped her body in carpet and placed it in a dumpster he knew would be picked up that same day. And how he had been planning it for months, because if she had the baby, he would have lost everything. About a week after Iyana disappeared, detectives showed up at Jonathan's front door. They told him they needed to speak with him about Iyana.
Got a big old dog in there?
Yeah, she's a big old baby, but you know, she's nosy. She's nosy. You never know.
Oh, okay.
Remember, you came over to Main Street. The guy tried to take some money. Yeah, the auto zone. This is like probably like 2-3 years. Yeah, like maybe 4 years ago.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've done a lot, man.
The guy, he ended up pulling my money out my wallet. I left it on the counter, and we ended up tussling. And I ended up getting more money back than he actually initially talked. We just kind of just walked off.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It was a even swap, yeah.
That's
for
crazy, man.
Yeah. I used to be on the job too in New York. You know, I know you find crazy stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's just, but you know, we literally had her kids for summers. You know, summer at a time, and then you know, weekends, all of them, and you know, it's just like if we knew where she was at, we would have been the first ones to grab her ass and bring her over.
Yeah, exactly.
We're posting stuff on our Facebook trying to find her the same way they are. It's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Even though we're not speaking.
He told them she ran away, and that when she left, she only packed Victoria's Secret underwear and bras. The lead detective later testified that detail stopped him cold. How would Jonathan know what a missing girl packed unless he was the last person to see her? Officers searched the property room by room. They checked the garage, the backyard, no sign of Iyana anywhere. They then took Jonathan in for further questioning. Inside the interrogation room, Detective Abbott sat across from him and began. At first, Jonathan denied everything. He told investigators the allegations were lies, stories made up by family members who wanted to stir up trouble in his marriage. He described himself as a caring uncle who always showed up for the family, someone who helped when people needed him, someone everyone could rely on.
I wouldn't know anything about Iyana being stressed about any baby, because when she finally let anybody know about her being pregnant, she was over 5 months already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know. That was just as shocked as her mother.
Mm-hmm. And you read the diary?
I'm sorry?
You read the diary.
I just read only the the pages that was given to my wife.
How would you surmise that diary?
As a girl that had a vivid imagination.
Who was in love?
Yeah, and you know what? Iyana's track record with boys is time.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty intensive with her falling in love with people. If in fact that me and Iyana had a relationship going on and stuff like that, and she was to happen to get pregnant, why wouldn't I pay for an abortion?
Because she can't get an abortion in the state of Florida at 16 years of age. Unless you take her to some fucking fucked up backdoor alley and wreck that shit out with a coat hanger. Or is that
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that. You know, because when I was growing up, my first baby mother, Samantha Morales,
you can do
she's
it in New York.
So that's where I was going with that.
Okay.
Yeah, in New York, you're
We've looked it up too.
Freaking 15 years old.
We've looked up everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've done our research.
That we know where the contents of that bin went, and you're sitting in here, and we even know the truck number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look through it. I mean, I have nothing.
No, we're here.
Okay.
To discuss the day that was filled up.
Yeah,
we're here to discuss the contents of the dumpster at your work.
Yeah, this whatever goes through, whatever comes out the vehicles usually go into a yellow bin, and then from there it gets dumped into the thing. Sometimes the tire guys on the concrete plant, they have like a blue basket or whatnot. It'll get dumped into another yellow.
So I'm in here discussing with you. Who am I discussing with you? Not car parts, right?
So you're trying.
We're talking about Samaya, Iyana.
Okay.
Did you know that truck number 7 picked up the rollaway garbage on December 20th? From the landfill?
I don't know what truck number. What are you talking about as far as
the large container that takes about a week to fill up?
Oh, and
at your work.
At your work.
Oh, I don't know what trucks pick them.
Yeah, truck 7 picked up the garbage that day.
Okay.
Do you know where they took it?
I would assume I work for the garbage company, private landfill. I guess it's either
specific where they take it. Like everywhere. It's amazing with the landfill how they have everything gridded out.
Mm-hmm.
Like to the T.
Okay.
If this table were in the middle of that landfill, they could find it for me.
She said she took her prized possession, all her Victoria's Secret underwear, and you said 38 pair.
Yeah, no. Well, I was giving. I don't know exact pairs of underwear as well, her, but I was just saying. That's what I'm saying. Really, that's what she held like to her highest standard was her underwear.
Her mom.
Everybody, yes, she does. I'm sorry. That's BS.
We asked her, and she didn't even know why we were asking.
She's like, yeah, she's got those underwear, but I don't know how many she has.
I asked Samaya off the cuff, yeah, when you underwear, sister? She started laughing, and she said, well, no. Like, why would I know? But you threw out a number, and you know, it's so funny, because sometimes when people are hiding something, because they're desperate, they will hide it, but their body always tattletales on them. Yeah. They give off things that they didn't mean to give off. And I can see her sharing with you.
To hide.
I can see her sharing with you
my
with
wife
her little bags
that's
packed.
the numbers of underwears that she has. Because my wife
someone picked her up from school and someone took her.
I think Jonathan has been inappropriate with Maya and Iyana. Mm-hmm. Now they question them girls separately, together, and it's been he's never been inappropriate with me. He's never, and it's I don't have nothing to hide. I got kids older than them. Right. And Kim, the mother, she mentioned, she says, listen, I never thought that way, but, you know, and it kind of got brushed under the tables. I still didn't talk to Tweedledee and Tweedledum, which is Jametta and Paul. I didn't talk to them no more. And
are they the older ones?
Those are the older ones,
okay.
Correct. I didn't talk to them anymore because those are the ones that started with the nonsense. And after they got, I guess, the girls' side, and even Maya, they were, she would text me, she'd say, you know, I wish they would stop asking these questions. This is just getting ridiculous. They treat you so wrong and all that their stuff. Once that passed and that blew over, everything was good. You know, they're staying the night, you know, weeks on end at the house. We're going fishing together. We're doing, you know, we're doing pretty much everything.
Right.
And then from that point,
and this was this past year.
This was
2018.
18, maybe 17 into 18.
Okay.
Then after that, Iyana got caught with, I guess she was late picking up her brother, and her brother squilled on her or whatnot and stated that she was with some boy or whatnot. They went through her phone, found out that she was having a sexual relationship with a boy that she said that was 17, and turned out that he was 21 across the street. And then that turned into, the reason Iyana was doing that was because I had to turn her out, you know, whatnot. So
when you say turned her out,
I'm sorry. Meaning that I had to have introduced her to sex.
So you had full sex with her, is what they're saying.
Pretty much that I had initiated her learning about sex, and this is the reason why she was running around.
When detectives confronted him with the DNA evidence, Jonathan insisted he had nothing to do with her disappearance. When the detective told him his own brother said he confessed, Jonathan still wouldn't break.
So if I were to tell you that I found some underwear that had your DNA in it, how would you explain that?
I would say that is not, that there's no way in shape in any form. Okay. Yeah, there's no way. As far as the whereabouts of Iyana, and as far as the DNA you guys talking about, that is...
There's no DNA.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I mean...
But you understand, like, I wouldn't bring you in here if that wasn't 100%. Yeah, because that would be like the craziest fishing expedition. Listen to me. Yeah. Honey, look me in the face. I would never bring you in here if I did not have that DNA 110%. Because I would know that I was fishing in the dark, and I don't fish in the dark. Ever. Ever.
After the interrogation, Jonathan was arrested, not yet for Iyana's murder, but for the sexual battery of a 14-year-old relative named Iyana Sawyer, who came to babysit his daughter that night. This happened in mid-December 2017, a full year before Iyana disappeared. His first night in jail, a wire was already recording. Jonathan called the charges against him bullshit and said he wasn't worried. While Jonathan sat in jail on the sexual battery charge, a fellow inmate told investigators that Jonathan confessed to him that he killed Iyana and threw her body in a dumpster.
Why? This will be $1 million question. Why were they pointing fingers at you?
The first reason they would even look in my way and they even asked about where I was at and all that.
Because of the room, they said?
Because of the room.
They said y'all fucking around.
Yeah.
You think she was still, why you just? So you didn't think she was in the tail, why did you?
Prosecutors presented this alongside the statement from Joseph. At a court hearing for the sexual battery charges, Iyana's mother, Kimberly Mobley, stood up and demanded investigators thoroughly prosecute Jonathan. By July 2019, they indicted him for murder. The case took 4 years to reach trial. Jonathan's defense took advantage of every gap. They argued there was no proof Iyana was even dead. They called a witness who claimed to have seen her walking down Phillips Highway on December 26th, a week after she vanished. They suggested a neighbor, Kamar Humphrey, was the real father of her baby. Humphrey took the stand and admitted he had a sexual relationship with Iyana in 2018. He had also been accused of raping her that year. But it was all smoke. The witness had the wrong dates. Travel records proved Humphrey wasn't even in Jacksonville when Iyana disappeared. What the prosecution had instead was a brother, a jailhouse informant, an ex-wife, a sister, 2 hours of wiretapped audio, and a phone full of messages. Joseph took the stand next. He told the court Jonathan called him 4 times on December 20th. He testified to everything Jonathan told him, word for word. The 2-hour wiretapped recording was then played for the jury in full. On it, Jonathan described the 9mm, the landfill, the relationship with Iyana.
Yeah, I know you don't really want to talk about it. It's all going to be to get rid of the body.
See, I dump garbage over at the landfill. It would be buried under like 3 feet of garbage.
He confirmed he dumped her and her backpack in separate locations. He confirmed he knew how bodies decompose. His own voice describing music, what he did to a 16-year-old girl who thought she was running away with him. The jury deliberated for less than an hour and came back with a verdict. Guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder. 1 for Iyana, 1 for Hazel, the baby girl she never got to have. The state pushed music for the death penalty. The jury recommended life instead, deliberating for just over an hour before rejecting it. On October 2nd, 2023, Judge Anthony Salem sentenced Jonathan Music to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.